General William P. Mason III. I have the distinct pleasure today of introducing our guest speaker. He has commanded units at all levels from lieutenant to general officer. He has had the great fortune to have spent most of his career with the troops. He served as an infantry officer in the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault Corps at Fort Campbell and in the 82nd Airborne Division here at Fort Bragg. He served 2 combat tours in Iraq as a civil affairs officer, the first time as a company commander and the second time as a battalion commander. In 2012, with only 4 days' notice, he deployed to Jordan to establish a forward headquarters to assist the Jordanian armed forces with handling the flow of Syrian refugees. He is currently serving as the Deputy Commanding General of the United States Army, John F. Kennedy Special Warfare Center and School. He understands the importance of training, education, and the role of the non-commissioned officer corps. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General William P. Mason III.
Hey, great, thanks. It's very humbling to be out here today amongst all these non-commissioned officers and enlisted soldiers. It was very, I guess, rewarding to get out to the field the other day, rank 68, and see some of you all participate in a little bit of a competition. So it's just amazing what you all do. It's just unbelievable. I'm not here today. I didn't get here today on my own. And it goes back, without a doubt, to the NCOs, to the NCO Corps. Back to ROTC, I can name the instructors I had: Sergeant Major Davis, Master Sergeant Scott, Staff Sergeant Gurley, my 2 first platoon sergeants, as a light platoon leader, Sergeant First Class Goldsmith, and as a Delta Company Ann Arbor platoon leader, Sergeant First Class Gray. So I tell you, I'm probably not alone with a lot of the officers that have been successful. They can probably remember the NCOs that touched them. So thank you to the NCO Corps for, I guess, making me who I am, and I guess teaching me what right looks like, and I guess tolerating the mistakes. And I've sure made my number of them as I've gone up, made my way through the ranks. But it's because the NCOs and the officers have pulled me aside, said, "Sir, don't do that," and show me the right way and show me what the standards are. So I appreciate that. Around 500 BC, Heraclitus, a Greek philosopher who lived in Ephesus, shed some light on what it meant to be a true soldier, a warrior. And in talking about that subject, Heraclitus made some distinctions. And he wrote, "Out of 100 men in battle, 10 shouldn't even be here. 80 are just targets. 9 are the real fighters. And we are lucky to have them, for they make the battle. But one is a warrior, and he will bring the others back." This week, we brought together a group of warriors, of soldiers, warriors all, together to compete in this Best Warrior competition. These are men whom Heraclitus wrote about, the warriors, the leaders. But before I go any further, I want to recognize 2 warriors present today from different generation. Command Sergeant Major Rock Merritt and Command Sergeant Major Louis Gutierrez. Command Sergeant Major Merritt served as an infantryman in Europe during World War II and parachuted into Normandy. Later in his career, he served as the Command Sergeant Major of 18th Airborne Corps. Now, I'm not really sure why this is, but he didn't only serve once, he served twice, and not consecutive. So I don't know if he got a redo or if it was because of his success the first time through. But nonetheless, the only person to ever serve 2 tours as the Command Sergeant Major of 18th Airborne Corps. And the other gentleman is Command Sergeant Major Gutierrez, who served most of his career in Special Forces. He served with the 5th Special Forces Group in Vietnam from 1965 to 1966. Not an easy time. And again in 1970 and 1971. But this gentleman, I don't know how he did it, and how he can still walk, and how he's still, he's not only 4 feet tall, but he's made over 4,650 parachute jumps. So thank you, gentlemen, for being here today and for continuing to serve our nation. it's a difficult task to pick just one soldier and one non-commissioned officer to represent the United States Army Reserve Command, because the soldiers that competed this week had already been judged. They'd already been assessed, and they'd already been selected by their units to compete at the ESARC level. That already says that they are the best of the best. This week, we have undertaken a task that probably would even leave Heraclitus in a bind, having to choose the best of the best. And before I go any further, again, I just want to extend my personal congratulations to each of the competitors for making it to this level and for your professionalism and your commitment to duty. Choosing the NCO and the Soldier of the Year has truly not been an easy task, and I'm glad I didn't have to decide that. Throughout this week, we've watched the warrior ethos in action. The soldiers that have competed this week live and breathe that ethos, placing the mission first, never accepting defeat, never quitting, refusing to leave a comrade behind. The soldiers and non-commissioned officers who competed this week are committing to living the ideals of the NCO Creed. No one is more professional. I am a member of a time-honored corps, which is known as the backbone of the Army. I will at all times conduct myself so as to bring credit upon the Corps, the military service, and my country, regardless of the situation in which I find myself. These beliefs are what sets our soldiers and non-commissioned officers apart from any other Army. You go around the world, as many of you have, everyone's trying to be like us. They want to be like us. We're the gold standard, and we're one of the few armies actually that has a non-commissioned officer corps, and has a corps that does what it is that you do. A lot of times, those are commissioned officers that do a lot of the things that you all do. So it's fantastic that we have that. The primary mission, of course, the non-commissioned officer and everyone is accomplishing the mission. Key to that is their ability to remain technically and tactically proficient. This week, you have shown that proficiency through a series of events. At the Command Sergeant's Major Board, you had to have command of your own appearance and knowledge of the Army. You were assessed on your knowledge of the crafts such as military leadership, counseling, current events, U.S. Army history, tactical communications, survival, weapons, the Constitution of this great nation, and much, much more. You know it. You were in the hot seat. And I still don't know where these sergeants major come up with these questions. I don't know. I'm sure you're thinking the same thing. Really? Where'd this one come from? But the sergeants major that sat on that board have been in your shoes. But I tell you what, don't let them fool you. It was easier back then. And if they should say otherwise, just look at their age and consider that the memory has already begun to fade. You also put your bodies to the test and undertook the Army Physical Fitness Test. Your knowledge was further tested through a written essay and an exam. You displayed proficiency in warrior tasks and battle skills. You, of course, had to prove your proficiency on the weapons range. And finally, you were placed into scenarios that required you to react, to adapt, to overcome the situation quickly and decisively, proving that you can think on your feet while under both physical and mental stress. Some may think, so what? It's just a competition. Well, they're partially right, but there's more to it. The character of war is changing. There are basically two ways to fight the United States military: asymmetrically and stupid. The enemies that face you today don't follow the rules of battle. They operate in the gray zone between war and peace. They live in the hinterlands, areas that are not only tough to get to, but are also really tough on your body. The environment requires our soldiers to keep going when they have little left. Our nation's warriors must be able to think on their feet, to adapt, to build relationships where none existed. They must have the tactical skills to survive when today's friend is tomorrow's enemy. The life of a soldier or NCO within the United States Army Reserve Command is not an easy one. You must deal with the demands of your civilian employer, your family, as well as the readiness requirements of your MOS and those of just being a soldier. You spend countless hours between battle assemblies, training and preparing. You must bring all of your skills to the fight. Weapons will only get you so far. You must think and act strategically. These aren't things that you do on the fly. You've been trained and educated to react in this manner. But events like the Best Warrior competition test you. They hone you and they make you stronger. For each one of you to be here is a testament to your professionalism. While others run from the sound of gunfire, you run to it. More than that, like the men who rallied to the call of freedom in America, the Minutemen, who were ready at a minute's notice to stand in the gap for their country, you put down your work, be it in a factory, on a farm, in a school. You put on the uniform, which is different from the suit or the khakis that you wear every day. You kiss your loved ones goodbye, although they're used to seeing you at home every day. And you sling your weapon on your back, and you're up to join the fray. Like the Minutemen, you provide a highly mobile, rapidly deployable force that allows America to respond immediately to her enemies. I'm honored to stand before you today because there are none better than you. You are the backbone of the Army. You are the American soldier. You personify the soldier creed. I'm a warrior and a member of a team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient in my warrior tasks and skills. I maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States in close combat. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier. Because you're the best, other soldiers look up to you. The officers, and I guarantee the officers do, the non-commissioned officers and the enlisted alike, train them to be like you. Grab a junior officer, a second lieutenant, like I said. Grab someone like Second Lieutenant Mason and teach him what right looks like. Because, like I said before, behind every successful officer is a good non-commissioned officer. Thank you for what you're doing, not only this day, but for every day for our Army. I fully realize that each of you has a choice. The choice to be here in service to your nation or somewhere else, perhaps a place less demanding. The fact that you have chosen to be part of your Army speaks volumes about your patriotism, dedication, and desire to serve your nation, and in doing so, pay something back for the many blessings that we all have as American citizens. So on behalf of a grateful nation, I express my humble and profound gratitude for and to each of you, and especially to your families. Keep pounding, twice the citizen, Army strong.
Thank you, General Mason. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Command Sergeant Major Copeland will recognize some of the Army Reserve Best Warrior Competition cadre members for their extraordinary effort ensuring the success of this year's competition. Please come forward when called. Sergeant First Class Derek McLeod, 108th Training Command. Attention to orders. The Army Achievement Medal is hereby awarded for outstanding achievements during the 2017 Best Warrior Competition, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, for providing exceptional support as staff cadre throughout the duration of the Best Warrior Competition to ensure a successful mission complete. Your knowledge and professionalism reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Army Reserve Command, and United States Army. Sergeant First Class Jason Sauer, 108th Training Command. Attention to orders. The Army Achievement Medal is hereby awarded for outstanding achievements during the 2017 Best Warrior Competition, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, for providing exceptional support as staff cadre throughout the duration of the Best Warrior Competition to ensure a successful mission complete. Your knowledge and professionalism reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Army Reserve Command, and the United States Army. Sergeant Tanya Bean, 3rd Medical Command, Deployment Support. Attention to orders. The Army Achievement Medal is hereby awarded for outstanding achievements during the 2017 Best Warrior Competition, Fort Bragg, North Carolina, for providing exceptional support as staff cadre throughout the duration of the Best Warrior Competition to ensure a successful mission complete. Your knowledge and professionalism reflect great credit upon herself, the United States Army Reserve Command, and the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, Command Sergeant Major Copeland will recognize the best warriors with the highest 3 scores on the M9 event. These warriors have earned the U.S. Army Bronze Pistol Excellence in Competition Badge and are receiving a coin from the United States Army Reserve Marksmanship Unit. 3rd place, from the 83rd U.S. Army Reserve Readiness Training Center in Fort Knox, Kentucky, Staff Sergeant Jonathan Anderson. Second place, from the 3rd Medical Command Deployment Support in Forest Park, Georgia, Corporal Carlo Del Dono. From the 200th Military Police Command in Fort Meade, Maryland, Sergeant Jordan Letley. Ladies and gentlemen, the Army Physical Fitness Test is one of many tasks these warriors faced during the Best Warrior Competition. Command Sergeant Major Copeland would like to recognize the soldiers who achieved the highest scores on the APFT. From the 200th Military Police Command in Fort Meade, Maryland, Sergeant Jordan Letley. From the 412th Theater Engineer Command in Vicksburg, Mississippi, Sergeant Luciana Batista. And from the 412th Theater Engineer Command in Vicksburg, Mississippi, Specialist Wate Song. Just for those in the audience, please be seated. At this time, Command Sergeant Major Copeland will recognize the first runners-up. Drum roll. If for any reason our winners are not able to compete in the Department of the Army Best Warrior competition, these two soldiers will stand ready to represent the Army Reserve. The first runner-up for Army Reserve Best Warrior non-commissioned officer is I'll make sure this is not a Warren Beatty or Faye Dunaway or Steve Harvey moment. (2017) U.S. Army Reserve runner-up non-commissioned officer of the year, Staff Sergeant Jonathan Anderson, 83rd. Attention to orders. The Army Reserve, the Army Commendation Medal is hereby awarded to, what was his name? Staff Sergeant Jonathan Anderson of the 83rd Arctic for outstanding commendable service while competing in the 2017 Army Reserve Best Warrior competition.
Got it.
Your unwavering professionalism, technical and tactical expertise, and indomitable spirit have earned you the title of runner-up, United States Army Reserve Soldier of the Year, Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. Your exceptional devotion to duty and dedication to excellence are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon yourself, the United States Army Reserve Command, and the United States Army. And the first runner-up for Army Reserve Best Warrior is Specialist Wante Song, 412. Attention to orders. The Army Commendation Medal is hereby awarded to Specialist Wante Song of the 412th for outstanding commendable service while competing in the 2017 Army Reserve Best Warrior competition. Your unwavering professionalism, technical and tactical expertise, and indomitable spirit have earned you the title of runner-up, United States Army Reserve Soldier of the Year. Your exceptional devotion to duty and dedication to excellence are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon yourself, the United States Army Reserve Command, and the United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment we have all been waiting for, the 2017 Army Reserve Best Warrior winners. The Army Reserve Best Warrior Non-Commissioned Officer is Corporal Carlo Deldano, 3rd. Attention to orders. The Army Commendation Medal is hereby awarded to Corporal Carlo Dildano from 3rd Medical Command for outstanding commendable service while competing in the 2017 Army Reserve Best Warrior Competition. Your unwavering professionalism, technical and tactical expertise, and indomitable spirit have earned you the title of United States Army Reserve Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year. Your exceptional devotion to duty and dedication to excellence are in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon yourself, the United States Army Reserve Command, and the United States Army. And the Army Reserve Best Warrior is Specialist Kenny Ochoa, 79th.
You wear it on the flag. There we go. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Congratulations. He's not coming to the corner here again. Here we go. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, if you will take a look at the projector screens, we will show you what you missed if you were not here during the grueling days of the Best Warrior competition.
Hi, Bob. Oh, yeah! There you go. Two legs. Bring your legs and hold on. Hurry, go! Hurry, go! Hurry, go!
our best warriors to stand one last time. Also like to acknowledge the 214th Mobile Public Affairs Detachment from Richmond, Virginia, the 982nd Combat Camera Team from East Point, Georgia. They put the video together. And of course, the 81st RSC Band. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the benediction by Sergeant Major Anthony Pamplin, U.S. Army Reserve Command Chaplain's Office, and the playing of the Army Song.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we first of all thank you because our best warriors have fought the good fight. They have finished the race, and they have kept the faith. Oh God, may you strengthen us and sustain us. May your power, O God, preserve us. May the hand of God protect us. May the way of God direct us. And may the love of God go with us each day and every day. Amen. Amen.
March along, sing a song, we're the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Almost over. Hey, last quick words before I move on. I tell you, I'm truly proud of each one of our best warriors. As I told them earlier today, they represent the core of our values to the Army Reserve. They are our future, and they are willing to step up and put this effort forward. And as I told them, I want them to take that out and spread that amongst their fellow soldiers and peers, because they are our future. So let's move on. I don't know if you've seen all these nice items to our left. So we have two gentlemen here today that wanted to contribute and pay our two winners some respect by giving some gifts. And the first one today is Mr. Lyons, and he'll come up and give a little bit, and I'll let him present.
I need to,
Two best warriors up here. Two winners.
Hey, Sergeant Major, you know that gentleman there?
ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to grab a cupcake on your way out. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you grab all the cupcakes you want. Thank you.
All right. We're with Corporal Carlo Del Dono with the 3rd Medical Command Deployment Support. And Corporal Del Dono, you've just been named the 2017 U.S. Army Reserve NCO of the Year. What is going through your mind right now?
I'm really honored to be the NCO of the Year. I know, especially even just this competition, there were countless amount of fantastic NCOs. To be named the top of them is very humbling, and I'm very honored on behalf of all NCOs in the Army. I've been trained by so many fantastic NCOs. It's really just a great experience.
Now, you've been on this stage before. You were here last year as the Soldier of the Year runner-up for 2016. Was that an advantage for you to come back as an NCO? Tell me about that.
I think it shows that the Best Warrior provides a great amount of training. So the training I received at the train-up in Fort Harrison, Montana was really beneficial for my soldier skills, and then I was able to continue that training with other NCOs I met along the way.
So what was different for you as a warrior this year compared to last year's competition? Were there any new surprises? Did it seem familiar to you?
They kept everything a secret, so everything, we didn't know what was going on. Everything remained pretty much a surprise, and it was just having to adapt to whatever task they decided was going to have to come up next.
Okay. Now, you have a train-up event coming up, and then the DA competition. What are you expecting in the next few months?
The next few months, expecting a lot of good training. I'll be going to Air Assault and Airborne School real quick, and then this train-up is going to be awesome. Just try to get in better physical shape and get ready to compete at DA.
Okay. And tell us where you're from.
From Lexington, Massachusetts,
okay,
where the Army started. The Minutemen,
okay,
yeah.
And the last question is, how does this competition help you be a lot more capable and combat ready, and how do you relate that to your soldiers and your unit?
The Best Warrior training, or the Best Warrior competition, has provided the most realistic combat training that I've received in the Army Reserve. By far, on a magnitude that's just very impressive and well run. So that combat training lends very easily into becoming combat ready, and it also gives me training ideas and kind of the framework to base my own trainings off to start training soldiers in my unit.
Okay. Okay. Good. Congratulations. Best of luck at DA.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, I do have one more question.
Yes, sir.
You've got some big shoes to fill.
I was telling Sergeant Muller that.
We've had 4 winners since 2008, 2 in the last 2 years. Any pressure?
Lots of pressure. It's going to be fun, though. I'm really looking forward to the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, and congratulations
Thank you, sir.
again.
Appreciate it.
Microphone.
Cool.
Good. All right. So, Specialist Kenny Ochoa, you've just been named the 2017 Army Reserve Soldier of the Year. What is going through your mind right now?
Well, it's unreal. It's overwhelming, the amount of emotions that are running through my body right now, and just seeing all these people that are happy for my accomplishment really gives me a lot of motivation to go on and really do my best for the next competition.
What are you expecting after talking with some of the other competitors? Was this competition harder than anything that you've done this far, and what are you expecting at DA?
Definitely the hardest thing I've done. Everything catches you off guard, and you're challenged in every single way, from the physical to the mental. And for the next one, I expect to be challenged probably more.
Okay. Now, you have an unusual personal story. Tell me a little bit about that. Where you were born, where you came, when you came to the United States, and a little bit about that.
Well, I was born in Guatemala, and pretty much I came to the United States when I was 8 years old, during 2003. My family was looking for a better future for myself, and we ended up in Burbank, California. Ever since, I've been in the San Fernando Valley, and right now I'm trying to make a name for myself, and that's what I'm doing right now.
I think you kind of started that today. And you became a U.S. citizen when?
Well, it was the first year I enlisted, which was 2014.
Okay. Now, you also have a different kind of dream than most Army soldiers. Tell me about that.
Well, I've always been fascinated by space exploration, and if the opportunity ever came up and I was able to go ahead and be some type of astronaut or work in that field, I in a heartbeat would take it, and that's why I'm working towards a physics degree at the moment.
Okay. How does this competition, when you go back to your unit, the things that you learned here today, how does that help you and the folks in your unit with being combat ready and capable and throw lethality out there on the battle space?
Well, for one, I want to lead by example. I want to make sure that all my peers and just everybody in my unit is on the same page, both educationally and physically, because that's what we really need. And I can tell some of the units are lacking that. So I want to be that standard, and I want to be a resource for everybody.
And what unit you were assigned to, and what is your MLS?
I'm a 88 kilo watercraft operator with the 481st Heavy Boat Transportation Company.
Okay. And that makes you, in the 10-year history of Army Reserve Best Warrior Competition, you're the first watercraft operator to win that. So
that's right.
You don't get too many watercraft operators in here. That was it. Do you have anything?
No. I got a lot.
Okay. All right. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot,
and good
sir.
luck at DA.